years, we have an amazing cause. It is the Brain and Behavior Research Foundation, and they are. That's right. I love that enthusiasm, and you can see leading achievements in brain and behavior research. That means anything from addiction, PTSD, depression, anxiety, insomnia, postpartum, bipolar. What do you guys got? Name it. What do you got?
Brain injury.
Brain injuries. That's right. Absolutely. OCD. Absolutely. And it's a fantastic cause. They award scientists money. They give them grants to keep working on their research. So out of all of the things happening in the world, this is a cause that can help alleviate mental illness. The numbers say, the statistics say 1 in 5 of us suffer from mental illness, and we're all affected by that. So we're happy you're here. We're happy you're part of the madness. And some of you are asking about the lineup and how it all works tonight. But first of all, we're going to get things warmed up just a little bit. We're going to get you guys laughing and feeling good before we get into our comedy competitors today. So how about we do that, huh? What do you say?
Sounds good.
Grab his bong. It's good to see we got 24 people here. This is better than the last Zoom I did that had 7. So give it up for yourself for that.
Yeah.
Who traveled the furthest to be here tonight? Oh, yeah. That's
Cocoa Beach, Argentina.
Oh, awesome. Glad you guys made it from all stretches of the earth.
15 steps to the basement.
That's right. And who knew that?
Space. I'm in NASA. I'm at Cape Canaveral.
Perfect. Where are you? Helene? Where are you from, Helene? I heard Helene chime in. Okay, never mind, Helene. All right, cool. Who knew
So far
that
away.
the most popular word in the English language these days, the most popular phrase would be, "You're muted." I mean, how many times a day do we hear it? I don't know. I can't tell you. I'm happy we're here. I'm happy we're having fun. Shout out to all those who, well, first of all, I think people are doing better or worse in a year's time. Yeah? Is that safe to say? Anybody doing the same? Anybody doing the same? Yeah, you're either better or worse. I get it. I feel that I've been doing a lot of self-improvement, and when these doors are open, I'm going to get up there and I'm going to fly like a butterfly. I'm going to be soaring. I'm going to feel so good. But don't worry, guys. You don't have to be jealous. Easy with the net. You could just catch me and crush me. I'm sensitive. So. It's all very real. All very real. Let's see. I'm going to pass first of all, I'll show you a little bit of the lineup so you guys can prepare who's who for tonight. Let me share a portion of my screen. Let's see if this is going to work properly. Well, yeah. I like it. So I use random.org, ladies and gents. You can see this is the random.org list. So we're going to have this be the initial order. And then if you are here joining late and you want to join in the madness, just send me a message. I already got Aaron and Ziggy added on. If anyone else wants to be added on, send me a message, please. And let's see. Before we do that, we can tell you about our cause. Brain and Behavior Research Foundation. We got logos. Oh, yeah. Like to laugh. Thank you, KO Comedy. Thank you, Comedy Hub. Let's see. You see what we're doing here? We've got this whole bracket. I'll get it fitting in the box. So we've got this bracket here. We've done so far 3 out of 4, 16. We have 3 out of 4 Final Four members. This Sunday will be our last bracket of 16. Then we'll have 4 left for a Final Four. It's madness. That's what it is.
Madness.
Yeah, madness.
Crazy times.
And it is indeed crazy times call for crazy shows. And we've been
Nutty.
some of you saw the information and the video we had up before was from our first year when we were at Caroline's on Broadway. And now we're on Zoom, but hey, we're having fun. We're getting through this.
You.
So before we get started, we're going to pass to my co-host for this evening. She's going to dish out some laughs for you before we get into the lineup. So lineup, you guys can prepare your sets, 3 minutes apiece. And coming to the stage, please put your hands together for the hilarious Sterling Smith. Yeah!
Hey! I'm so hilarious. I'm so comfortable. My ass is getting bigger every time I sit in this chair. Oh my God, it's insane. I'm a very active individual. It's nice to see you guys, but I've noticed that I've never worked in an office. I don't know about you guys, but when I did data entry in the last century, I always was worrying about secretarial spread. I don't know if you guys know what that is. But as I've been sitting in this chair for almost a year, I've definitely noticed that my ass is getting wider. That's why I like Zoom, because on a stage, you can see how big I've gotten. But in Zoom, from my hips up, I look exactly the same. I'm so happy that you can't see the lower half of my body because you would not recognize it. It goes out on either direction. And even if when I try to wear black, it's not as slimming as I thought. But ladies and gentlemen, a year ago, my husband and I were both self-employed. And I don't know if you know this, your parents probably talked about this, but we're supposed to have an emergency fund of up to 3 months. And I don't know if you guys remember the government shutdown where they said most Americans don't have more than $400 before they're going broke. My husband and I figured out that we'd have at least 12 to 13 months before we started to go down that path. And yesterday, I got a notice from the bank saying that I didn't have any money in my account.
Oh.
Yes, it was almost exactly 13 months ago that my husband and I said we could get it up to 13 months and then things would start shaking out. So after I got the call from the bank, I decided to be more proactive in getting employment. So I've started practicing being a panhandler around the corner from my house.
Oh, geez.
I've got my big gulp so that nobody has to touch me. I have a mask that has a skull smile on it. And thanks to BLM and white guilt, it's been raining dollar bills, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes.
I actually did the most ghetto thing I've ever done. The first time I made $100 in change and dollar bills, which was a couple of days ago, I videoed myself rolling around in dollar bills. Let me tell you, it was very exciting. And now I have a fans only page. I'm so excited. I ride a motorcycle, and when you see me in my stuff, I'm covered from head to toe, so you can't tell what gender I am. You can't tell how old I am. So when I got pulled over a couple of months ago, it was actually because I actually did something wrong and not because I was black. I was so happy. When I was in my car a couple of weeks ago, I've been breaking the law. Well, only late at night just to see where the cops are, because I haven't seen a cop in probably 6 months, except on TV beating people. But I've been breaking the law intentionally just to see if I could get pulled over. And I got pulled over in my car, and I started recording it, waiting to have my 15 minutes of fame. And all I got was a ticket. So disappointing. I'll tell you one more thing. The lockdown, I'm not like most comics. I'm very optimistic, which is not any in the definition of comic will you hear optimistic, but I'm an unusual comic because I'm very optimistic. And I try to see the good in everything. So I was trying to make a list of positive things that have happened during the lockdown. And one of the things that I've realized is that my husband and I have been spending an inordinate amount of time in bed, more than usual. And I've learned some things. And one of those things is that my ceiling needs a new coat of paint. And so do my baseboards. I will tell you more about that later, but let's get the show on the boat. Josh, what's going on?
Yes, thank you, Sterling.
You are welcome. Let's hear some noise, you guys. It's so nice to see all 25 of you. Woo-hoo.
All right, so you see I put in the chat the lineup once again, Aaron through Martin so far. If anyone else wants to hop in, let us know in the chat for sure. We're so pumped to have you. Also, I put in the information in the chat for Brain and Behavior where you can donate. Let's see. And without further ado, are you guys ready for your first act of the evening besides Sterling and I? We're an act. We're an act. Coming to you, looks like all the way from Germany, folks. Put your hands together for Aaron Crouch. Yeah.
Hello, I am very excited to be on this diverse lineup. It appears that there are 2 women on here, and we are both named Aaron. It's pretty cool. Doing comedy here in Germany is actually a lot like that optical illusion, where you look at it one way and it's a young woman, and you look at it the other way and it's an old woman, and a booker looks at it and says, 2 women? They're not both getting on this show. This is a good competition. This is a good Zoom show. This is not the best Zoom show that I've ever been on, though, because the best show I was on had automatic closed captioning, and when they brought me up, it said across the bottom, "Now let's hear from Aaron's crotch." Made me feel like I could only do crotch-related jokes. Luckily, I had a few. I don't know if you know this, but we are still quarantining very hard here in Germany. Nothing is open except for grocery stores. We all have to wear medical masks, all of that. We have a radius outside of which we can't travel. I kind of feel like this might be my punishment for how much I used to love that show, Locked Up Abroad. But what I'm saying is that the last time, it's been so long since I was outside, that the last time I saw a traffic light, I tried to click on it to prove that I was. But as bad as we have it in Germany, we do not have it as bad as Russia. Because of the coronavirus, their dolls are not allowed to nest. It has been pretty rough here. My husband works at the hospital, and so he's a frontline worker, and this year has been very, up and down for him. And when things have gotten really stressful, that's when he turns to me for advice, and that's how we both got these bangs. I do feel like I've learned a lot in lockdown. The first thing that I learned in lockdown is that any joke can be a coronavirus joke. If you tell it to I've also learned that I like my coronavirus like I like my men. Not attracted to children. We are still wearing masks. I'm okay with that because I actually really enjoy wearing a mask. My first favorite reason to wear a mask is so men can't see how pretty I am when I smile. That's just for me now. Like, why does he get to see if my bitch face is at rest? My second favorite reason to wear a mask is if you drink a lot of booze, the next day you can catch a buzz by just breathing in the breath. I have tried to use my time here usefully. For example, I created a playlist that I listen to while I'm pooping. The first song on the playlist is Brown Eyed Girl. And the last song is Every Which Way But Loose. In full disclosure, I have changed the name of this living room to Just Getting By Room because shit is getting here. I don't know if you can see this, but I dye my hair. Back in the day, when you dyed your hair, there was always some creepy dude who was like, "Do the curtains match the carpet?" And people don't say that anymore, but I don't think it's because everybody's woke. I think it's because nobody has carpet anymore. I think people just have hardwood floors. I'm Aaron Crouch. Thank you very much.
Woo-hoo!
Aaron. Thank you, Aaron. Awesome. Let's see. Up next, we have Mr. Rich Aronovich.
Thank you so much. This is great, huh? This is Zoom comedy. It's like O'Doul's, right? It sounds like but it ain't gonna get you high. Anyways, great to be here. I learned how to do this in 2020. That was my year, huh? I was so booked. All right. So actually, this one was a good year for us. My wife and I, we had a baby. My wife is, she's from Holland. So I get a beautiful girl from Holland, and she gets a green card. The thing is this: you when naming a kid is kind of difficult because I think about the name. My wife's sister's name is Chemda, and she's single. You know why? Because her name is Chemda. How could you ever have a boyfriend if your name is Chemda? Can you imagine being the throes of passion? Oh, give it to me. Chemda. Oh, don't stop. Chemda. Oh, that's so good. I'm like, that is genius. We moved from New York to Northern Virginia because of the panty. I live next door to my parents, which is, they're difficult. My dad is like the most negative person on the planet. He looks like he ate something he didn't like 30 years ago and never got the taste out of his mouth. And you try to make him happy. You're like, Dad, guess what? You just won the lottery. He's like, taxes. Like, that's my mom does this thing where she insults me by talking to my kid. It's the most annoying thing. I'll bring my kid over and she's like, you know, your father is very sensitive. And I'm like, grandmother is passive aggressive. I don't miss the only thing about performing live I don't miss the travel. I gotta be honest. Listen, the thing I hate the most about travel is the service animal scam. Like if you need a service animal, I'm on board. But you ever seen these people who just don't want to pay the money? So they just slap a vest on some, like I was at JFK, last gig I did, and there was this thing with like 3 legs, a lazy eye, and having a hard time breathing. It was having a hard time breathing. I was like, hey, what is that? She goes, that's my service dog. I'm like, well, your service dog needs a service dog. That thing is fucked up. What is it? She's like, well, it's half Chihuahua and half pit bull. I'm like, that's not a service dog. That's a crime scene. That's a product of some doggy sexual assault. What kind of dog is it? A Harvey Weinstein or a Cosby Doodle? What's the name of your dog? R. Kelly? Now, before you got to realize that's good writing. And I'm very open to whatever you are. I don't care. Sometimes I get it wrong. Like after a show, this person came up to me and goes, you know, I'm non-binary. And I was like, yeah, I hate Bitcoin too. What's your point? And they were like, that's not the right term. I was like, oh, sorry, cryptocurrency. Listen, this has been the best 3 minutes and 4 seconds of my life. I love a room full of comics. You guys, we know how we laugh. We go, funny. You guys, good luck, everybody. I hope you all kick ass. Enjoy. Thank you.
Yeah.
All right, Rich. Nice. Who's next, Sterling?
Who is next is Jimmy Bose.
Yeah, I am. Hi, everybody. How we doing?
You're so young looking.
So excited for this show. Earlier tonight, I was doing some sit-ups, getting ready for the show, or I lay down a few times. It depends on how you look at it. Lie down slowly. It's a resistance exercise. Still works. Part of my exercise program called the Path of Least Resistance. Due to come out whenever. So I did try to start working out. I started driving 3 times a week. You know, low impact, I said. That was the lowest impact I could think, you know, ideally. Just 20 minutes, 3 times a week. I didn't want to pull anything, you know. It's nice, though. For the long workouts, you can keep snacks on the seat next to you. Endurance. I know. I actually did do right, but I joined the gym. Started donating 10 minutes from my house. So I drive 10 minutes there. I stretch out. I have a smoothie. I blow up the bathroom and I drive 10 minutes home. I think I'm using my membership. I think I'm doing pretty good though, because I was in the shower the other day and I actually reached down and washed like my feet and, you know, my calves. Because usually
With frozen time.
Is it just me, or is
Yeah, I do.
everybody frozen?
I just like,
James,
like in like a
It's madness.
syndicate. Too bad, we were totally going to kill you, but you said don't shoot the messenger. So, hey, I don't know about you guys, but the pandemic, I've learned something about myself. If I never see somebody sneeze in slow motion, high definition, it'll be too soon. Never, ever see that again. God bless you. I'm a teacher. I've been teaching 24 years. I think I'm a little bit burnt out. I don't know. My mind's not working out. I saw a sign, a billboard the other day. It said, how much do you need to retire? I thought, absolutely. So much. So much. Good night, everybody.
Yeah, good job, Jimmy. Awesome. Did you guys? Was it just me, or was it his half his set frozen?
It was frozen.
Okay.
I froze.
Yeah, but that's all right. We love you anyway.
Technological curveball.
I know. I thought every time it freezes, I think it's just me. And then I think maybe I'm just having a senior moment, and I'm like, I'm having a minor seizure or something.
You got the billboard joke, right?
Yes, we got the billboard joke.
I rewrote that since open mic last Monday, so I'm very happy about it.
Well, as long as you're happy, we're happy. But thank God, thank you guys, that it wasn't just me, because I was actually thinking, am I having a seizure right this minute?
No, I went up and yelled at my kids to get off all their devices too.
Oh, okay, all right, good. It's not just me. Excellent. All right, next up, ladies and gentlemen, Dead Air Dennis Mahler. Give him some love. Let's hear some noise. Woohoo! Is he here?
Did you see him here? I didn't see him here.
Oh, come on, man. Come on, man. All right, we're going to go on to Hugh CH.
Chatfield.
Hey. Come on, Hugh.
Hey, can you hear me?
Yep.
Yeah.
Awesome. Guys, I'm an epileptic with depression and suicidal. Suicidal. Gotta be dull, right? I really am suicidal though. But the trouble is, I have a brain injury and I forgot how to kill myself. And then I'm getting together with all my fellow epileptics, and we lie down and we all shake. Okay. But my parents got divorced when I was 5, plunging me into depression, and I was really stuck. That's why I'm depressed. And I've been depressed ever since. I was depressed when I was 27, and I slammed my car into the back of a truck. Oh, almost died there. Just here. But I was on my way to law school. So by the grace of God, I was saved from becoming an attorney. And see, did I tell you guys that I won the Nobel Prize?
No.
Yeah. I got a good buzz, but no bell. And let's see. The blender is a blender. If you put your fingers in the blender, that's a new joke, so it sucks. I'm a man, and I try to be sexually active. The trouble is, I can't get it up. So, can't get up. People look at my pants and my fly's open, and they say, Hugh, zip it up. I say, oh, I can't get up, can't get out.
Can't get it up, can't get it out.
That is the onus of the penis.
Onus of the penis.
Do you know how very important when you're brain damaged? Well, brain injured. Don't put anything down on top of anything. Sit down, or you'll forget where the chair is. And don't forget where your set list is. But if you really want, you can always get some pussy. You gotta be willing to eat some kitty litter. Little sausages. And but the great thing about eating pussy is because there's always a little smell of fish because it doesn't smell. Why suck a cock? You gotta suck a cock to practice for eating pussy.
That's time, you.
All right, thanks you. Woohoo!
You.
Life lessons. I will try and practice eating cock so then I can eat pussy. Okay, all right. I will try and do that soon. As soon as I can find a woman who will come to my house. Ladies and gentlemen, next up will be Mac O'Hara.
Yay!
Thank you so much. I got my first tattoo recently. I got a tattoo of my father because that's the only version of him that can't leave me. But my mom has an accent which makes her pronounce things differently. Like love is pronounced "go fuck yourself." It's a bit confusing though because "I'm proud of you" and "good job" are also pronounced "go fuck." So is "I hear you," "I'm sorry," and "I was wrong." They're all. It's okay to cry is closer. She pronounces it "go ahead and cry, you little bitch." Those are actually jokes. I have good parents, which sucks. I wish I had shitty parents. Like I missed so many life lessons. Like I was never taught how to flinch. Or hide bruises. Here's how good my parents were. The first time I was hit was by a student. I'm like, that hurt, but can you take me to a baseball game and fuck my mom? I mean, I need some role models. I remember when I found my mom's vibrator. I was 7. I thought it was a back massager. So I tried it. Boy, was it salty. I mean, the next day my asshole was sore. I'm like, oh, this is what my dad meant when he said robots took his job. I've been doing a lot of park shows. I did a park show the other day. I had to take a shit on someone's front lawn. I don't know whose it was, but it tasted fantastic. I actually didn't plan this out well. I have to take a dump right now, which is what made me think of that. And it's not good. I should have planned. You ever take a shit so big you think you can handle prison? Relatable at all. All right, this has been a lot of fun. Thank you guys so much.
Good job, Mac. All right. Go take that poop. Ladies and gentlemen, coming up next will be John Mccallum.
Yay!
Hey, John.
Hello. Thank you. I have dyslexia. I write my own jokes. The problem is I can't read them. I don't know if anyone gave up anything for New Year's, but I once gave up coffee for a year. Someone said it would help me sleep. They were right. I started to fall asleep on my way to work. So I did do the decaf. That's like the methadone for the coffee addict. So I went to Pete's because that's where I like to go. And I like how they spell it. They spell it, not the traditional way with the E at the end, because with dyslexics, you start reading and then the E comes up and you have to changes everything. You have to go back to the beginning. So that kind of sucks. So they spell it with the E's right in the middle, which is nice. And backwards, it spells Steve. For coffee. I go to order, and the barista's got a couple of espressos in her already, and she's like, "Can I have your name?" And I'm like, "Huh?" She goes, "I want your name. Just give me your name." I'm like, "Don't you have one of your own?" And I don't think John would work for you. Like, is that with an H? And I go, "Yeah, my parents paid extra." But it's silent, so you can put it wherever you want. So sometimes I like to put in the beginning, make it look Hispanic, Hispanic. Or again, give it a little Scandinavian flair. Sometimes I leave it right where it is, but I turn it upside down. Make it look Russian. I don't know if you guys knew this, but a lot of us dyslexics were rooting for the Russians during the Cold War, not because we're communists, but just because we wanted you guys to see what it's like to have to read words backwards. So, I will say, if you have a year to live, give up coffee. The first day will seem like forever. And the headaches are so bad, you'd wish you're dead. Then a few days later, you're so irritable, your family won't want you around. So I'm sitting on my couch with that table in front of me. I can't call it a coffee table anymore because I don't drink coffee, so it's like the all beverage table. And I'm like, I really like my couch. If people were to break in right now and say, we're going to either take your kids or your couch, I'd have to think about it. I know how to make more kids. The weekend, there may be no debate at all. I call that one Sophie's choice.
Thanks, John. Awesome. Next up will be Brett Hiker.
Hey, I'm here. It's good to be here. I don't actually have jokes. I was going to instead tell a joke or a story, I should say, of the last time that I smoked pot. And I haven't quit. This is a story from this morning. Yeah. I've learned during the pandemic that like my productivity really relies on like how far from my bed I leave my weed. Like this morning, like I reached for my alarm clock and immediately slapped like a pipe in a bag. And, oh God. So I did what you stoners call a wake and bake. Here's the thing we don't talk about enough with marijuana, which is that when you smoke pot on an empty stomach, it's a lot like drinking on an empty stomach. You wind up more intoxicated than you ever wanted to be. So like real quick, I was like, oh God, I am too high. I need food. But when you have a life like me during the pandemic, all the food in your apartment is also going to have weed in it. So fast forward a couple hours, I'm watching TV. I'm watching the TV. The TV is not on. Wondering what might be on, and I'm like, oh God, you have a show tonight. You have to get it together, son. Go get a sandwich. And so I thought I could handle myself in public. I walked down to the deli by my house. Here's where shit went weird. The guy making sandwiches was just applying mayonnaise like we would never run out of it. Like, I don't know how to explain this other than he wasn't using a knife. He was using a spatula to make mayonnaise out of this giant tray and throw it on the bread. And like, I don't know where they found this guy. They saw him laying bricks one day. And someone was like, I like your moves, man. You want a job in my deli? No. Bring the trowel. Bring the trowel. And I am like a third of you guys and think mayonnaise is gross. And so I walk up to him and I'm like, buddy, no mayo. And he just stops, drops his spatula, and looks at me like I'm crazy. And then I turn around, it's kind of a crowded deli, and I realize everyone is staring at me like I'm insane. And that's when it occurs to me that that is not my sandwich. Yeah. And the way that I knew that is because I hadn't ordered yet. I had walked in the door not 10 seconds prior, and then, like some insane king making new laws upon Brooklyn, just started shouting the phrase, "No mayo!" for anybody from here on out. If you really like it, you can wait till the purge.
Purge.
If you guys haven't seen The Purge, it's a really fun movie about where every year for 12 hours, murder and mayonnaise is legal. It is a real hoot. What else do I got going on? I have a wacky neighbor. I live in New York, so we're all issued a wacky neighbor when we get here. And my neighbor, he calls himself a philosopher, which just means that he likes to get drunk, and then he has these seemingly profound things to say. And a couple of nights ago, he told me, he goes, "You know something? We're not officially old. You're not officially old until you wouldn't have sex with someone who is twice your age." Now pause. We guys do the math real quick. Like that seems like a flawed system to me. Like, I mean, I don't know. Like, I'm 37 and I've never thought about, oh, I'm up. I never saw the 1 minute light. Thanks, buddy.
It's okay. All right. Good job, Brett. Still trying to do the math on that twice as half. Wait a minute. Does that mean I can sleep with an 18-year-old? 18 times 7? Oh, I can do that. Ladies and gentlemen, next up will be Nate N. I didn't even try to pronounce your last name.
Oh, what?
Bruce Lipsky.
Oh, Bruce Lipsky. I'm sorry. I'm going ahead. Bruce, go on up.
Thank you. My wife just bought one of those designer dogs. She spent $6,000 on this thing. And she carries him around like a Gucci handbag. Except the Gucci handbag only costs $3,000. And I'd rather have the Gucci handbag. At least it doesn't need to be walked 6 times a day. And she's named him Fabio. But I call him Houdini. With 2 wags of his tail, he's made my sex life completely disappear. And it's really hard to perform when there's 4 legs and an extra pair of eyes in the bed with you. And the dog. And now he's trying to give me pointers. The other day he said, no, now get on all 4s. But during this pandemic, my wife has become obsessed with buying on Amazon. And the packages are nonstop. In fact, they just rezoned my front porch as a loading dock. I'm out there constantly pulling boxes. Every day I go out there, I feel like I'm playing a game of Jenga for giants. Constantly going from the front porch to the living room to the 2nd floor. I'm like a personal delivery monkey. Or Amazon primate. My birthday was coming up. She says, "Honey, what would you like?" I said, "How about a forklift?" And the other day I got really angry. I saw her painting in the driveway, big letters, "Reserved for UPS." I said, "What's going on here?" Now I realize I think she's having an affair with the UPS guy. Constantly bragging about how big his package is. Now she's insisting only on backdoor delivery. I know what Brown's doing for her, but what's he doing for me? And now she has me doing fantasy role play. I have to dress up in brown shorts, construction boots, and carry a clipboard. Every time I want to have sex, I got to sign for it. This is making my family life miserable. The only smiles in my house now are ones on the cardboard boxes. But we love doing things together. Broadway shows, nice dinners, the UPS guy. If I got elderly parents, I'm starting to worry about my dad. He's convinced that stand-up MRI is a comedy club. I had him at the hospital the other day for some tests. We're in the elevator, and this technician wheels in this machine with all these tubes and hoses. My father looks at him and says, "Mister, I hope you don't hook me up to that machine today." The guy looks at him and says, "I hope not for your sake. It's a carpet cleaner." And I just turned 65. I'm worried turning to my parents. I look like a rusted old Buick. My hoses are leaking, my rear end is making funny sounds, and my ball joints have all dried up. Used to be in my house, if I had a leak, I'd call a plumber. Now I call my urologist. And he's $50 cheaper. When Sterling and I used to go out dancing back in Studio 54 days, we'd go out and bust the move. I used to take my wife dancing. I may bust a hip. I'm starting to forget things. I swear my phone mattress has a better memory than I do. I'm at the stage of my life where I change the batteries in my notehead trimmer more often than I do my TV remote. And during COVID, I've watched a lot of TV. That's my time. Thank you. My name is Bruce Lipsky.
Good job, Bruce. Now comes up Nate with the last name N. What? I have Nate after Bruce. Is that? There you go.
I think so. Yeah.
Go ahead, Nate.
Yeah. All right. So I'm Nate N. My last name's Nate Nagvajara. I don't know what happened. I think God was just playing a Scrabble game with like the Buddha and a leprechaun. He had a lot of A's. He had to get rid of. The leprechaun was like, "Man, you can't do that. That's too hard. That's not a word." And God was like, "Shit, it's a word now. There's a bunch of Asians in Pennsylvania now. They live there. Nagvajara. It's a word." Yeah. I'm Asian. I'm half Asian. I used to have a mullet. When I had a mullet, it made me look like my dad was an Asian hillbilly and my mom was Sonic the Hedgehog. I'm when I had a mullet, I looked like I was South Korean. Not like like I was from the country South Korea, but I was from the like American South. Like I lived in a trailer park in Florida, and I was like, "Grandma, hold up on the KBBQ and the Pippy Pop. I think the Japanese are outside, and I gotta get them." Yeah, Korean people don't like Japanese people. But I'm in college too. When you're in college, you'll meet all sorts of characters. You'll meet PC Southerners. I'm talking about like a white guy. He has like a trucker hat, all camo. You'll bump into him. He'll be like, "Ha, my name's Dan Hutcherson." I'm like, "Oh my God." He's like, "I'm from Mobile, Alabama." I'm like, "Oh, I don't know where this is going." And he's like, "And my pronouns are he, him." I'm like, "Let's go." They're getting that. And he's like, "But I also believe Blue Lives Matter." I'm like, There you go. I'm a classics major. Anybody know the classics major? Classics major. Mm-hmm. Study of ancient civilizations. I minor in ancient civilizations with the focus in binge drinking and playing Pong super shitty. No, classics is like just the study of racism over time. History is the study of like. It really is. It's like it's just so sad. You just learn about people with bigger guns being meaner to everybody else. There's no hope in the world sometimes. That's what I see. People are always like, well, the Nazis, there was Schindler. I'm like, Jesus, like for every Nazi, all the Nazis, there's one Schindler. No, engineers, math and science, like doctors, they always complain like how hard all their classes are. Well, my classes are emotionally hard. I'm reading about like rape and pillaging. And, I always tell those engineers, I'm like, come to me when your numbers and equations start committing genocides. Like, shit. That's all my time, guys. Thanks so much.
Awesome job, Nate.
Let's go, Nate.
Yeah, good job.
Nosotros vamos a parar aquí.
Next up
Hold on, Sterling. Well, first of all, that we want to say thank you to all the wild cards. That was the wild cards.
That was a wild card? Wow. Awesome.
Now we have up next is going to be the walk-on. So we're going to make sure, I know we have Aaron, Ziggy, and Martin. If there's anyone else in the Zoom that wants to jump on the list, please let us know now. It's important that you tell us so we can add you to the mix. And first of all, how's everyone doing on Comedy Hub? Twitching with us? Give it up for the Twitchers. Yeah. High five each other. Do this shit. Yeah. Why? Does that make any sense? Do I have to show? I don't know if I have to show the gallery view. There we go. Does the gallery view show up on Twitch? I don't know. You guys don't want to play? All right. Forget you guys. Give some money to if you can, let's support, right? Any little bit, a couple of bucks on Venmo. Like to laugh is the Venmo. It's set up. We're collecting all there. We're going to send a big check at the end of everything. And it's a fantastic cause once again. So anything you could give, a couple of bucks, $5, $10, $500, whatever. Who's a big spender? $1,400. Anybody get their stimulus check? Yeah.
Yes, I got my stimulus check, and I am now no longer poor.
That's right. Did you really need it? Come on, give it to charity. Here we go. Give it to charity. That's all good. But we're happy you're here, and we're going to have a good old time. So without further ado, I think we have our next batch of the walk-ons, which means there's nothing bad, which means they just signed up a little later, then didn't make the schedule, so we add them on now. So
excellent.
No harm, no foul. Or they're coming again to try out again, because you could keep coming all the time. But this is the last Thursday. This is it. This is the last time. Ruben, how you feeling, man?
Ruben?
Yeah.
Uh-oh, blank screen.
That's right.
Are we ready to continue? We got 3 more. Is that right? We only have 2 more.
Right now, just 3 more. That's right. So
awesome.
Next, let's bring up the hilarious Aaron Locke. Yes.
Hey. My husband and I haven't been to a restaurant in like 9 months, but he still manages to eat out like 3 times a week. My best friend heard that joke and she was just like, "Oh, because of delivery." No, sweetie. I'd say one of the hardest things about being a woman is not having like a full chest of hair. Like, you guys have all this real estate. Like, I just want to do something with this, like shave something into it every week, like use it for social distancing. Like, I said 6 feet, asshole. Or use it like NASCAR, make some fucking money off these puppies. These tits sponsored by Menards. I saw a commercial for college the other day, Universal Technical Institute. What an unfortunate acronym. Hey, one person got it. UTI. Do you think their mascot's like a big bottle of cranberry juice and just like walks out on the field? I'd really love to remake their commercial and just be like, "Come to UTI, where you burn while you learn." Sponsored by Ocean Spray. Growing up, I feel like you don't really get to know your parents. Like, you can't really be your true self in front of your kids. Like, that's dark. You can't have your kid come home and just be like, "Hey, Mom, can I try ecstasy? How old are you, 15? Not yet. I mean, no, never." And I get it. Like, parents are people, too. When I flew home to New York to go visit my parents, I walked in on my dad. Juggling. Not a euphemism. Not a euphemism. Actually juggling, okay? I was 25 years old. What a weird, long-ass secret. Okay? And I told my mom, and she was just like, "That is so weird." That's one of the first things he did to impress me when we were dating. How did you not know he could juggle? Well, clearly he wasn't trying to sleep with me. God, I can't believe my mom got with a fucking juggler. Go mom. Actually, go dad. Because if somebody I was dating tried to use juggling to get me into bed, they better be with Cirque du Soleil and be able to fit their own dick in their mouth, because I'm not going to do it. Aaron Locke, thank you guys so much.
Yeah, that was awesome. Next up, Ziggy. Yes, I don't know how to pronounce that last name either.
Susser.
Susser. Oh, Ziggy, we know you.
Good, thanks.
Welcome back.
Thank you very much. Now that we're home, we're finding things around our house that we didn't realize we had. My wife was going through our DVDs and she found one of those red Netflix envelopes that they used to send DVDs in. And she put her hand in and pulled out a sleeve for a movie called A Christmas Tale, and it was empty. She said, I told you to mail this back 10 years ago. Why do we still have this? I said, I was busy. She said, we got to find it and send it back as soon as possible. You know, who knows what amount of fine we have to pay, or we could be arrested for harboring an overdue rental. So, you know, I said, I have no idea where it is. So she said, why don't you check the DVD player? So you know, we've always had it plugged in because we needed a clock in the living room. So I pressed the eject button, and sure enough, out it came. And I said, oh, let's watch it. She said, no, we got to get rid of it. I don't want it in here. Another second. I didn't want to put it in the mailbox near our home because I didn't want the postal worker to find out we still had DVD. So I went all the way to the post office and I dropped it in. And I come back home and I feel relieved we got rid of it. You know, we're celebrating. 2 days later, I got my next DVD from Netflix. I totally forgot that when you send them one Netflix DVD, they send you another one. and this one is called Me and Orson Welles. I guess 10 years ago, I probably wanted to see this movie, but now I have no idea why I wanted it. And I'm imagining what's going on in the Netflix warehouse. Like, they get my DVD. These guys are probably sitting around a table playing cards. They haven't seen a DVD in years, and they have to look up the protocol, what to do with the tape, with the DVD. Then they have to find my list, my queue, and find out what my next tape is, Me and Orson Welles. Then they have to look up the list to see who's the next one on the list getting A Christmas Tale. So they brush up 10 years worth of dust from, you know, Me and Orson Welles, send that to me, and send the other one to the other guy. So I'm imagining the other family in their house, and they get, the husband opens up, he says, A Christmas Tale? What the hell is this? And his wife says, finally, I've been waiting 10 years for it. And he says, I thought we ordered Me and Orson Welles. So now I see that this is going to outlive me. So what I'm going to do in my will, I'm going to leave my Netflix queue to one child and my DVD player to the other one. That way, at least I hope they'll stay close after I'm gone. And at least one of them is going to have a clock in their living room. Anyway, that's my time. Ziggy Susser, thank you.
Thank you, Ziggy. Awesome. You youngins know what a DVD is, right?
We'll find out.
No, it's not a sexually transmitted disease either. Next up will be Martin Kessler.
Yay! So I've decided it's time we finally call out TV remotes on their bullshit. I know you're thinking we've got bigger issues, but how can you feel good about living in a society that's just accepted that 78% of the buttons on any given remote are useless? You've got power, volume, the one that clicks stuff. The rest are purely decorative.
Yes.
The part that really gets me, though, is that remotes today, they don't even try to pretend. Like 15 years ago, remotes would give you a rewind or a fast forward button. And of course, those never worked, but at least those were actions you might desire when operating a television. Remotes today are like, here's a small green square with the letter B in it. We'll put it above a gray rectangle that says S mode. Whose job is it to come up with that? I know Sony's going through some tough times, but I'm not sure pivoting to abstract art is the answer. Remote makers today are brazen, and I get it, because remote makers, or big button as I like to call them, never get pushback. We've just accepted their agenda. If you go to your parents' house, or I bet Ziggy's house, I bet they have 6 different remotes with 4 useful buttons between them. You got the tall, skinny one for power, the short, thick one for navigating Netflix, another for the volume, and the remaining 3 to confuse house guests. So I think we put up with it though, because deep down we're proud of the mastery we're forced to achieve. Learning a new remote requires an apprenticeship. But when you've completed your training, and I think we all remember that day, it's transformative. And that's why Big Button keeps winning. I was feeling despondent about the remote situation, but then I remembered all the progress we've made with apples, the fruit.
The fruit.
Until about 12 years ago, 8 out of every 10 apples was a disappointment. Back then, there were just 2 apple choices. You had the small round ones with the green splotches, and then more disappointing were the so-called Red Delicious. These were particularly devastating because, in addition to their libelous name, they deceived you with their sophisticated shape and scarlet skin, full of hope you'd undo the saran wrap, only to bite into a flavorless mush.
Mush.
But then one day you showed up to your local cafeteria and the default apple was suddenly a Pink Lady or a Honey Crisp, elite level apples. There wasn't even a transition period. It's not like we had to do a stint with Gala while they perfected the recipe. So if we can make that kind of progress with a product that's been available since Genesis, I think it's time we finally stand up to Big Button. Thank you.
Thank you, Martin. That was excellent. Josh, do we have anybody else that dropped in?
I think that's it. I haven't got any notes from anybody else in the Zoom, so it's time to let our audience decide who they liked. And our folks on Comedy Hub, everyone watching at Comedy Hub, we'd love to have you chime in and put in the chat who you like the most, who you'd like to see move on. And we're going to launch our poll here so that you guys can all vote. And Sterling and all of the VIPs who are watching, please send me in the chat, private chat, your top picks.
Okay. Are you going to put on any music while we vote?
We will launch the polling.
7, 8, 9, 10.
There it is. It's up. So vote away. I don't know how many you can click on, but click for the people you like.
Okay.
Oh, it looks like we can click more than one.
You can click more than one. You can click 2. You can click everybody you like. You can vote for, I don't know, do the bullet vote. There's strategies. We're going to have an audience choice. We're going to have some judges choice. We're going to have Twitch choice. We're going to have random Elaine Jarumbo's black screen show up. That's right. I'll pin Sterling and myself so we can be safe there.
Well, is there a PC significance to the black screen, or are we just doing it because we can?
I don't know. Well, let's see. While this all goes down, Sterling, you
14, 15.
I didn't get the vote yet.
Elaine Jarumbo, baby. I love it. What are you doing over
6,
there?
7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25.
We can hear you. So people are asking, yes, awesome. If you want to donate, you can donate right here. I'll put it in the, I think I put it there. We're doing Venmo, PayPal, Cash App, as well as the donor drive that you can check out too. That's online with a credit card. And also, if you want to just do old school, you can send a check for Ziggy if you want to put a check in the mail.
Pony Express.
Gosh, you need to explain what a check is to anyone that's in this audience right now.
There was a time when everything was done with paper before it was
paper.
We had printers that would print things. Oh my goodness. You would, but now it's all, things are digital. People are doing stuff online. Everything's online. The other day, I got my oil changed online. Oh, I didn't get my oil changed online. Let's see who else. Jared and Comedy Hub, you want to let us know who got the love in the Twitch? That would be great. Let's see. Oh, here we go. Let's see. Oh, wow. Okay. I like it. I like it. It looks like we got a lot to work with. You know what? We might do some crazy madness here. Sterling, have you sent me some?
I'm doing it right now.
You're doing Sterling's doing her judges.
Hold
All right.
on.
Breakdown is, so yeah, Jared on Comedy Hub, I'm not sure how you're giving me your information. So, this is like how one for each name or the name and number. It's a bit of a disaster, but this is madness, guys. This is March
Madness,
and that's why we're here. We're having fun. I've been doing this for quite a while. I love comedy. I love having fun. The only problem is, sometimes I forget. I forget that I need to get out into nature and just listen. When was the last time you just listened to the birds, Because they got three things they say to each other. They say, over here, food, let's get the food. Yeah, that's good. And then they got, get out of here, danger. Get out of here, danger. Yeah. They got food, they got danger, and then they got, fuck yeah! Up Lion! Look at Lion! They got food, danger, and fuck yeah. It's a simple life. Simple life for birds. They never get upset because their best friend didn't wish them happy birthday on their social media, No, they never get upset because their phone died and they couldn't link up with their buddies,
They just fly over.
Yeah, they do tweet though. They do tweet.
They do tweet.
No, you've never really been bird watching until you've come face to back of face to face with an owl. All right, Sterling, let's see. Sterling, go ahead and give a couple of ditties here while I tally everything up. Ladies and gentlemen.
What are you talking about? Oh, I'm so old. How old are you? I was so old that the first Zoom meeting I did, I wore a low-cut shirt, not knowing that my first Zoom meeting was my first Zoom comedy show. The whole 10 minutes, my boobs were talking to the audience. And they're not very big and they're not very loud, but they were everybody that was watching was very impressed with their performance. Ladies and gentlemen, I do believe that Jeff Bezos needs to send me a personal letter of thanks, because when the lockdown started, I spent so much money on books that I went broke. And I think that books are great. Again, young people, these are things that you hold in your hands and have words on them. I know the classic student knows what books are, unless you're doing it all on Kindle. But my nephew came over, and I have a huge dictionary. It's heavier than he is, and I had it out on the table, and he's like, "What is that?" And he looked at the words, and he said, "Wow, you've got a whole book of text." He's 7. I was like, "Oh, this is crazy," but it's insane. But I read. I'm a voracious reader. I read a book, probably 4 or 5 books a week. I love really heavy books. Like I just read the Lord of the Rings trilogy. Always a favorite of mine. But I've been really getting into 18th century Victoria bodice rippers. The 50s of the 18th century. And I'm going to read you some of the titles because the titles are better than the books, let me tell you. Let's see. Okay, here it is. We've got Lady's Blooming Garden, Lustful Vengeance, and my favorite, Manroot, The Untold Story of a Light-Skinned Moor and his milk-white mistress, and the Karen she turned into when he tried to break off the affair. And even in her old age, she never forgot how his rock-hard branch shook her tree until her peaches fell. I'm not making this up. You can go on 18th century novels and find these books, and the descriptions. I spent a whole 3 hours reading just the descriptions. It was hilarious. Then there's a lady who never. And what I've done is I've taken just like the PC movement that young people like you are into, I've taken modern sensibilities and ascribed them to 18th century novels. So there's a lady never surrenders, and I added until she gets canceled by the press and dies in a convent. A Wicked Way to Win an Earl is about a rich vixen who lusts after the wrong noble, sort of like Trump and his wife. There's the Deceptive Dyke, the Oral Royal, the Prancing Prince, and another one. The Uncut Count is a heartfelt tale about a man looking for a surgeon to give him a little snip to his capped tip.
Oh,
I know. Oh, it's awful. He had an overhang and he didn't like it. Scandal's daughter. This is one of the best ones. Scandal's daughter should not be confused with Caligula's cousin, which deals with the incestuous relationship between two consenting and horny sisters born in the wrong century. Imagine if these people were born in this century, they'd have their own pack and their own flag by now. This is the best one. This is about the descriptions are better than the book. Found in a compromising position by the butler, Jane has two choices. Live with the shame of being a tawdry temptress or marrying the man they call Jeeves. Okay, I haven't read that about Jane, but I plan on doing it. In the 18th century, this is mind-blowing. It's like the 50 Shades, like I said, but I'm not talking bondage rooms and nipple clamps and ball gags. In the 18th century, if you showed an ankle, it was considered scandalous. If you were a married couple and you were naked in bed, it was considered a crime. And if you were a gay man and you were called a shirt lifter. These are all facts, yes, because you lifted the shirt and pulled your pants down, and that was it. I know. I'm looking at Aaron going, why is that? Because in 18th century, they had so much clothes on, they had an easy access patch in the back, and they just lifted it up. Same with ladies. They could bring their leg over the dress for easy access, so they could keep their clothes on. It was amazing. There were no bodice rippers. You know how much clothes cost for those wealthy people? They couldn't afford all those silk buttons. And never mind, it would take 3 hours to get them all down. The erection would be gone, the moment would be gone, and you'd be wondering why you started in the first place. No wonder they were so repressed. The clothing alone was insane. But anyway, have we finished?
Yeah, awesome, Sterling. Thank
you very much.
Thank you, everybody. Yeah.
Reading is fundamental.
Okay. Oh my goodness. I got to tell you that this is true madness, folks. It's true madness. There have been so many across the board from our VIPs that have been watching in the Zoom, from our Zoom poll, from our Twitch audience. Oh my God. So look what we have. If you guys see what's happening on Sunday, we're going to make it true madness. We really are. Because if you see, this Sunday is this group right here, this batch. All right. We're starting with Alex, Bradley, and Debbie. And what do you notice? 1, 2, 3 wild card spots.
Woohoo!
So should we take 3 people? Or should we take 6 people?
6.
Whoa, 6.
Take 6. Let's do a play-in. We're going to do a wild card play-in on Sunday. It's happening. Are you ready? Why not? Let's make it a real madness. You guys want to make it a real madness? We're going to make it a real madness. Which means, oh my goodness, which means 6 of you guys are going to be moving on in no particular order or the order you performed. We'll see you on Sunday. Mac O'Hara, John Mccallum, Bruce Lipsky, Nate N., Aaron Locke, and Martin Kessler. Yes!
Yay! Good job.
Awesome. And really, everyone, so funny. It's been insane, really. All of the votes were so close. We really thank you all for being here and participating. We hope you can join us on Sunday, 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern. And you guys know the You know what it is. We love you for being here. Thank you for coming out. And we'll see you again, folks.
Sunday.
Thanks, Josh. Woo! Thanks, Charlie.
Thanks, everybody.
you.
You guys are awesome. We'll see you sometime soon, I hope. In
Thank
person.
y'all.
Something's wrong, I feel it circling like vultures around my brain. Couldn't see the danger in your eyes. Draw me in, got me spinning now like water to a drain. You were perfect till I realized